All right, Nick Tamero here on the Churchill Downs backside for TwinSpires.com, joined by Chad Brown. Chad, let's start, of course, with Ballerina Doro, your Oaks entrant, recent Gazelle winner. How's she doing coming into the race?
Great. I love how her last work went super and drew a nice post. I think she's moving forward the right way, and on paper it looks like there could be plenty of pace in here, which she'd appreciate.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, obviously, it looks like they're going to go pretty quickly early. If she does her best running late, so just mainly stay out of trouble along the way.
Yeah, I'm looking to get her a little further back in her race. Like last time, she got the job done and was a little goofy down the lane and all that, but also she was kind of close to a softish pace, and I think her best run is going to come with a quick pace, a strung out field, and she can make a long, sustained run.
Distance feels like it's going to be on her side pretty much throughout her career, right?
Yeah, she's had a couple mile-and-eighth races in her belt already, and looking at her size and scope and pedigree and such and running style, I think more distance the better.
You've got a busy couple of days coming up, even in addition to Ballerina Doro. I wanted to talk to you about a couple of Grade 1 winners coming back off the layoff, first of which is randomized in the La Troyenne on Friday. Obviously, you're taking on Torpedo Anna, but what are your thoughts on her? How's she coming into the race?
It's very well. This filly's wintered super. She's nice and sound, and she's training sharp, and she just has to overcome a layoff against really special filly in Torpedo Anna. But I couldn't be happier how she's training.
Was the break after the personal ensign more by design? Was that kind of a plan to wait for a 5-year-old season?
Not really. She just didn't come out of there well. She didn't need surgery or anything, but she just wasn't moving well at all, and we just did the right thing and just gave her some time off. Got her checked out and such, and got her over all her little aches and pains and such. So, but she came back better than ever.
Her very best races have come when she's on the lead. Would we expect to see her forwardly placed?
I'd say so. I mean, our intent would be to go, and if somebody wants to go crazy on the lead, and I do think that she could rate out in the clear or something like that. As long, I don't think she just wants to be back behind more than one horse. But if she broke well, the ideal thing would be to just go to lead.
Saturday, you have Ways and Means coming back in what might be the toughest Derby City distaff ever. Couldn't have imagined what a Shark Tank that thing became, but how's she doing coming back off the break?
Yeah, I mean, off a layoff like that, first start as a 4-year-old, you hate to give her a really hard race, but we've been pointing for it for a while, but it looks like we're not the only one that was. So, special horse. Seemed to found her niche sprinting now, and worked a little quick this week, but came out of it good. And I find that fresh horses off layoffs can maybe tolerate a fast work like that more than horses that are in between races. So I don't think it'll bother.
Newly minted Grade 1, the American Turf. You've got Zulu Kingdom coming in off a race at Tampa. Tampa's a place you've used as a springboard for big races for years.
Yeah, doing super. And even his Breeders' Cup run, I love that horse that day. He got a very challenging trip being, in some contested pace, a little wide and such, and it just didn't work out for him. But that last race, it's very impressive. He might be a shade better at a mile, so he's got to contend with that extra 16th of a mile in a really good field, like you said, now a Grade 1. But, I think if he is able to save ground, particularly in that first turn, and get a little pace to run at, we can squeeze that extra 16th out of him.
Kind of a three-headed monster for you in the Old Forester Turf Classic, a race you won last year with program trading. You've got redistricting, Running Bee and Spirit of St. Louis. Looks like one of those will probably end up favored. I think Running Bee is the morning line favorite, but obviously a nice trio to bring forth.
Yeah, it's a race we have a lot of success in. All three horses are a little different and had different paths to get here, but all of them are training really well, and I like this race. It's a great race every year. Traditionally on the calendar, the race right before the Derby, it kicks off a nice series and campaign for a lot of these older grass horses. It's a nice distance, so it's a race I always like to participate in, and all three of my horses have been pointing here for a while.
Looking forward to seeing those and everybody else. I didn't mention Saffron Moon and a few others that you have. Saffron Moon, of course, taking on She Feels Pretty. You have Venencia and tax implications as well in the Distaff Turf Mile on Saturday.
Yeah, it's got some other turf fillies getting ready to get started, and tough races. I mean, Churchill's put on nice cards together, and a lot of these horses we've been pointing here for a while, again, because you can count on these races being on the schedule and at good distances and such. And you got to watch the weather a little bit, but a lot of these turf horses that I'm pointed that you just mentioned are training quite well.
A couple of great days of betting coming up. Make sure you're doing it at TwinSpires.com. Chad, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thanks for having me.